We all know that if you don't take care of small tasks that come up daily, they'll eventually grow into large dragons that drain our energy and are difficult to slay. This is why recurring tasks are useful to help us keep track of the periodic maintenance work that we need to do to keep our life on track. Unfortunately, as of today, there hasn't been a native way to make recurring tasks in Notion. So we've come up with a fantastic workaround that helps you create a dynamic quest list that displays a recurring task for each day and easily schedule them to be worked on. The best part is, it integrates seamlessly with the gamification project so that you can earn experience points and gold rewards when you complete each quest and level up. My name is Conrad, and I'm a creator that is endlessly passionate about finding new ways to solve everyday challenges, and today I'm going to teach you how to create recurring tasks in Notion. This video is part of our action-packed series where we show you step-by-step how to build systems for a better life and help you gain mastery over tools that we use like Notion. I'll leave a link to the playlist in the description below so you can catch up with all the previous chapters, and let's get straight into it. Let's start by taking a quick look at what the end result looks like. We streamed this live on our educational and engaging Friday Live builds, and I'll share more details about that at the end of this video. Please enjoy! Let's explain from scratch everything that we built today, because I think it's just so meaningful for you to be able to see all the recurring things you have to do when you need to do them, and also in a very fun and engaging way so that you are always motivated. Basically, you'll see that based on the day of today, and for me it's a Saturday right now, it's showing me that I have to do investment calibration today. Cool. So if I have to do investment calibration today, right, I'm just going to take a look at my finances, for example. I'm going to drag this down into empty space, and then I'm going to drag this into my active quest. When I do that, it's automatically going to show me exactly how difficult of a task it is. It's going to show me how long it's going to take me. In this case, it's going to take me 25 minutes. It leads up to my finance tracker, so I know the why of why I'm doing this. I'm doing this because I want to maintain my finance tracker at my sub area. And then I can start planning this out within the context of my day. Is it going to be my first priority, my second priority, my third priority? Maybe it's my fifth priority for today, and this can change every single day. It matters when you're actually going to do it. But then I'm going to go into my Make Life Simple page, and I have this place for no time block, which is going to show you exactly the investment calibration I have to do. Great. So I'm going to drag this. Well, it's a fifth priority. Maybe it's going to be the last thing I do in my last time block. So I put it into there. When I go and hand in my quests, right, then I'm able to actually earn experience points and gold for finishing this investment calibration, which again is the whole point, right? We want to gamify the experience. So if I drag it into there, I earned 50 gold. It's completed on time, and I'm very happy. So let's start off a blank page and start a new gallery view. We're going to call this Recurring Workflows, and we're also going to add an icon so we can distinguish it from all the other databases that we have. Let's find an icon that represents it best, maybe a circle icon because it's recurring, and then we're going to manipulate the properties. Let's delete all the properties that come with it when it first started so we can have a brand new table from scratch. And then we're going to add a property. We're going to call this Frequency and make this a select property, and we're going to put in weekly. We're going to make one for monthly, and let's also make one for quarterly. And then what we want to do is in properties, we want to show the frequency so we can see which ones are monthly, which ones are weekly, and let's add a few examples, right? So weekly, quarterly, and then we have monthly. And then basically this will make it easier for us to add and remove recurring tasks in the future. Next, you want to fill out the database with as many tasks that you do on a recurring basis that you can. You can see that there's a bunch of workflows that we've done as an example. For example, we have like things like grocery runs or paying the bills or etc., etc. And what I want to show you is a way that you can start displaying this in more of a day-by-day fashion if you have something like that. So let me show you what I mean. Okay, so right now we have a frequency property. It's just a multi-select for weekly, monthly, or quarterly. Actually, this should probably be a single select, right? Because it's either weekly, quarterly, or monthly, but for now, let's keep it like that. I'm also going to create a new multi-select, or in this case, I'm actually just going to create a select. Multi-select is fine. We can call it day of the week. So this is for the people that have specific things to do on specific days, and it's especially important for them to do it on those days. So I'm going to just keep typing all the days of the week. And then we have all these days, and then now we have a single way that we can see exactly which day of the week that we want to do each of these things. And usually we only have time on the weekends anyways, right? But this is important for us to do. Why? Because now we're going to have a new view that's actually going to help us sort and filter by these specific days. We're going to add a view here. We're going to add something called a board view. And we're going to group not by frequency, but by day of the week. So we already see that there is a very nice kind of layout for us, Monday to Friday and Saturday and Sunday. And then what we can do is we can make the card size smaller, and then we can start dragging them around, because we want to make sure that every single one has a specific date for us, at least if that's the way that you work, to make it so that we can go through and say, okay, on Tuesdays, these are my recurring things I need to do. I need to actually get them done. Otherwise, they'll become huge dragons that loom over me and it won't be a fun time. So what we're going to do here is we're going to make sure that we know the frequency of each of these things that we want to do. And just to make it look a bit prettier, we're going to make it medium size, even though it's going to start pushing this all the way over here, but that's fine. I'm also if you want to, you can have the card preview show the contents, and then you can start to see the checkboxes for things you have to do as well. If you like to see it that way, I think that's pretty fun as well. Another thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add a sort, because I think it's important to sort by the frequency. So then we can also see like all the weekly things up front. Okay, enough of that. So for me, I think investment calibration could come on Saturdays. We can also have laundry maybe on Fridays, right? Maybe you want to build your personal networks on Sunday so that on Mondays you can start reaching out to people if you need to. Learning reviews, I think that's always very good to do on a Sunday. So I'm gonna go back here. I'm gonna drag this over to Sunday. And then you can just see, like, I'm showing you like just relevant examples, right? Getting to inbox 0 is definitely a Sunday thing to do. And then we might want to do a grocery run every, let's say, Friday. Maybe on every Friday of every month. That's very different, okay? Doing finance summaries, I think it's important for you to do it again on the same week or same day that you do your other finances. Paying bills, I think, can be that. And you can already start seeing, right? Like you already have, so Tim Ferriss has a really interesting way of doing this where he has specific dates that of the week that he does admin tasks. Like this is my admin day and I'm going to make sure I get all my admin headaches out of the way on this specific date. So you can see that that's very important, where he's figured out on this specific date, I'm going to focus on one thing. I'm not going to have any multitasking so I don't lose my train of thoughts. And I'm also going to be able to do the things I'm meant to do because I'm going to build up an expertise in doing that thing if I keep doing it week after week. So very important stuff. The idea is this, right? Every single day, we might have something new that we want to do. So let me add one right here. Let's say on Tuesdays, we might want to water our plants, okay? And then if we have water our plants, inside here, we can basically say, okay, this is a weekly endeavor. And we're going to say for plant A, we want maybe the succulents. For succulents, we want to have 5 to 6 drops of water. Maybe for something like our, big leafy plants, we want to do half a cup of water. And maybe for our, what other plants do you guys have? Maybe for your plant wall, you want 1 bucket of water. Just as an example, right? And then you can start seeing like this shows up here. If you are familiar with our system, you already know we have a dashboard called Daily Planning. And the Daily Planning page is very, very nice for you to actually be able to go and add things from your mission board over to your active quest. So for example, you'd be able to go into your mission board here, right? And then you'd be able to add it into your active quest right over here. What I want to show you is if you have recurring quests in a recurring workflow kind of way, and you can see all your different recurring workflows, correct? You can see all these things like this. And what you can actually do, I'm going to show you a few different views, okay? So this is the board view, but I'm actually going to show you something like this where you can have a list view. So I'm going to create a list view. And then this is a list of all the quests that you could be doing, correct? What we could do is we can also show things like the day of the week for this to be done. And then we're also going to sort them first by day of the week. Then we're going to sort it by the frequency, okay? So we can start seeing that, okay, so Monday we're going to do this, Tuesday we're going to do this, blah, 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 blah. So what we could do is we could just directly drag it into our active quest. But I'm going to show you why that's not a good thing, okay? So let's say I drag it into our active quest. Let's say, let's say today for you guys it's Friday. So let's say you're going to do laundry, okay? You're going to drag laundry into here. Laundry gets dragged into here. And then if we open up laundry, I'm just going to show you what happened just now. it's not going to actually show you all the things that you want. And also, I believe it started adding like additional properties that you don't really need. But the good thing is you actually have this, step-by-step thing on what you need to do. So that's good, okay? There's good things and there's bad things by just simply dragging it in. But I want to make them better. I want to make sure that this is a very intentional routine that you know exactly where it leads up to in your life. So how can we do that? Okay, so that's the question. How do we do that? So I'm going to Control Z here. I'm just going to undo that so that it moves back up here. And then we're going to add a few more things that's going to make this super, super important. So hear me out. Real quick, if you like the content I've shared in this video so far, please do drop us a like and subscribe. It helps our channel reach more people like you. Let us know in the comments what other systems you'd like us to build. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Okay, so what we want to do is we actually want to link up our recurring workflows into our success plan. And the reason behind that is because you want to actually be able to set this as something that you can do recurringly for a specific project that you're working on. Let me explain. So let's say I have laundry, okay? And then I'm going to add a property. I'm going to call it a relation, and we're going to relate it over to the success plan. Okay, we're going to relate it over to success plan, and then we're going to see that we have a success plan here that shows like this. So I'm going to create a relation. Boom. And then what's going to happen is inside the success plan, this is for the demo data. Again, this whole system is demo, so nothing in this specific workspace is anything that's private. So all these workflows can essentially show you that I can link up to a project, okay? So why this is important is because people have been asking me time and time again on how can I link up a recurring task to a project that I'm trying to work on. So let's say we have a recurring workflow, and then we're going to say that on every Tuesday, we're going to be every single week, we're going to be making a 5 km run, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to put this and we're going to put cardio right here. So cardio becomes our cardio training. And then now we have something like this. Let me kind of show you how my workflow would be when I'm trying to do all these single quests, okay? So the first thing I would want to do is actually create the quest inside here and then start specifying exactly how difficult each one's going to be, because we still want to measure out the effort it takes us to do something so that we can properly, schedule it within the things that we need to do. So I use an example for a 5 km run. Let's do that, okay? So a 5 km run probably take you an hour, right? If not a bit more if you're new to it. So what we're going to do is we're going to open this. We're going to set things like a new awesome task quest. We're going to hide all these extra properties so that we just have the things that we need to see, okay? And what we're going to have here is we're going to have our steps, right? We're going to make sure that we put on our Fitbit, for example, set chart a running course, so on and so forth, right? And then bring water and a snack and then do the run. So for example, right, these are the things that we have to do. Okay, so we can already see that these things are important to us. It's going to be a high impact thing for us to do. It's going to, right now it's in our backlog, but it's going to be working out. And then we're not going to put a priority because our priority is going to be something we put on later. Okay, so what we end up doing is if I drag this out to again to an empty space here, and then I put it into here, we can already start seeing that we have all these things inside here, right? So again, we might want to refresh the frequency. Maybe this frequency is going to be something that we do weekly. Again, on the day of the week, it's going to be on a Friday. So what happens here is if I drag this out into here, let's see how that works out. Boom, we can see that it becomes a high impact, something that we want to do today. And then it's something that it's relating to cardio training. So this is the cardio training. Sorry, I keep forgetting to scroll down. But this is exactly how you're going to be able to see all the things that you want to do to ensure that these are the recurring tasks that you want to do every single week on a specific date. The next part is how can we get this quest to show up only when you need to see it, only when you want to see it? Okay, so for example, we have a list view, right? And then we decided on the list view as well because we wanted to be able to see all the different things that are coming up. Okay, so what controls something coming up? Obviously, the computer doesn't know that, or Notion rather, doesn't know that Friday actually means a specific, today, right? Friday doesn't mean today, and it's not necessarily very clear what dates of the week it is today. Like this is just a multi-select, I can put anything in there. So what I want to do is I actually want to be able to read a few formulas. Okay, so this is where it gets a bit dicey. Again, if you're able to pick up our systems, you have this already included after I built this. So definitely don't stress. But if you want to, build together with me so that you can learn a bit about this as well, because I think it's a really interesting math problem to solve. Okay, so the thing about Notion is that you can have dates and you can see today's dates in terms of the day of the week. So how I want to show you guys that is day, now, So we're seeing that today is a 6, okay? Day of the week today is 6. So there's a few ways that we can start matching this, okay? So we can say that the day of the week. So what we can do is 2 ways. We can have a formula that reads Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then essentially spit out that, hey, today, if the day of the week shows this, therefore the number is this. There's that one way that we can solve it. Another way that we can solve it is we can actually just add like a number to it, where it's like 1 is a Monday, 2 is a Tuesday, 3 is a Wednesday. I think that's a bit simpler of a solution because that makes it a bit more flexible for anybody to add their own languages as well. So for French, you know, you could change it completely however you want, right? So I am actually going to go with that solution, okay? So let me just double check. I want to make sure that the day of the week, so 0 is Sunday, 1 is Monday. Okay, perfect. So Sunday is going to be a 0. And I'm going to move the Sunday up here. Monday is going to be a 1. So we're going to have a 1 like that. Tuesday is going to be like this. So we have a Tuesday like that. And then 3 for Wednesday and so on, so forth. Very interesting stuff. Let me also show you how to grab only that number, okay? So I'm going to just create a new property for this. Again, I will eventually combine both of them into one property. But I just want to show you guys like how this really works. So to number just works. So we're just converting that whole thing to a number. Perfect. So then I'm going to make an if statement. So we're going to say today, not today. Okay. So I'm going to explain what this is. So basically I said, if the day of the week of today, which is currently 6 for me, is a Saturday, matches, so equals means directly matches the day of the week, which shows on this, and it shows 5, then if it matches, then say it's today, otherwise say it's not today. So today I'll say a check mark. Okay, and add a check mark into here, and then not today will be an X. So I'm going to show an X here, and then we have an X. So it's not today. So if I change this over to Saturday, right, it will show today. If I change it back to Friday, it will show not today. Very simple stuff, right? But again, only intuit it after you learn about it. So I think this is really important. So we say today check. So what I want to show you guys now is the first part of the puzzle, which is I'm only going to show things. So I'm going to do a filter. I'm only going to show where the today check contains a check mark. Okay, so I'm going to do a check mark. So you can see that these are all the things that I have to do today. These are all the things to do on a Saturday. Okay, and then I can see also that some things are meant to be done weekly. So I'm okay for this to show up every single week, but these things should be done monthly and they shouldn't show up every single week, right? That I'm looking on this. Every time it becomes a Saturday, I don't need to see these 3 things. So how can I also hide those things until I need to see them? Okay, so this is really important. There's a few ways to do this. You can do this in a very calculated way in terms of formulas, but I don't necessarily recommend that because it makes it very difficult for you to work with it later on. What I would just simply recommend is this. So I'm going to change this to a weekly workflows, and I'm going to duplicate this, and then I'm going to say this is a monthly workflow. And then I'm going to duplicate it again, and I'm going to make this into a quarterly workflow. So quarterly workflows. So what's going to happen here is on top of this filter, I'm going to add one more filter that says, and the frequency contains quarterly. Okay. For this one, I'm going to say, and frequency contains monthly. And for this, I'm going to say frequency contains weekly. So the important thing for this is because I want to make sure that I'm only seeing the things that are meant for me. And on the monthly workflows, I already know that it's going to be the first day of the month for me to do it, and I will switch over to that. So it's not something that I'm necessarily worried about. So it's something that I can continuously switch if I need to based on what actually needs to be shown. Now, last piece of the puzzle. How do I make it so that I can replenish my weekly workflows every single time I'm working on them? We're going to do this through template buttons, and I'm going to suggest it this way. Okay, so we have a template button here that we're going to call a replenish your workflows. Okay, very cool name, similar cool functionality. So what I want you guys to do when you guys create your own workflows is, and again, this is going to take a little bit of training, a little bit of work, but you only need to do it one time. So basically what you do is when you drag this out like this, right? So water our plants, you have your 5cam run, and then you have your investment calibration. And then basically what you can do is you can drag them into your workflow toggle. So this is the template toggle, which you have. You can drag it into here, and then basically you can have this, you can close this up, and then you can see, for example, that they're not inside your workflow at all, right? So when you go ahead and replenish workflows every single Sunday, what you'd have to do is you just click this plus button, right? You can drag this into here, boom. We still have the Saturday, it's weekly, and because it's not going to be Saturday on a Sunday, when we actually drag it up, it's actually not going to show. So that's, again, another really cool thing that's going to happen, and we can just keep replenishing this when we need to. But the most important thing is that it ends up syncing with our entire success plan journey so that we can actually go ahead and make sure we're working on the things that we're meant to work on. So I hope that was really meaningful. I know, again, as I mentioned in the early parts of the stream, there's a lot of ways that this could be achieved. There's a lot of different creators that have shown you different ways of how to make recurring tasks. I think my way is just the way that makes it as fun, as engaging as possible, because it links with the whole gamification of our system. And also it makes it more intuitive, where I'm actually only seeing the day of the week that I want to do that specific weekly, monthly, or quarterly task. If you want to save time building this template, the Recurring Workflows database is included in our L Control and Be Intentional template packages and comes integrated with our success plan. Check them out inside our toolbox, link can be found in the description. And if you want to be part of a highly educational and engaging learning experience with our community, join our live builds on Fridays at 9 p.m. Eastern, where you'll also get a chance to influence the next build to be more personalized and beneficial for your growth journey. Huge thanks to our patrons for making our videos possible. Your support means the world to us and keeps this project going. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful week ahead, and remember, be intentional.